Sometimes we pray, but don't listen to the answers. Sometimes we over-spiritualize our lives, and we don't pay attention to the everyday answers to prayer that God provides. I have a story that I think illustrates this pretty well. There was once this town, and there was a guy in this town, and he heard this radio report that there was a storm coming, that the town dams were likely to break, and that the whole town would flood. And so the radio broadcast said, get out of town, evacuate, save yourself, save your family, get out of town. And the man heard the radio broadcast, and he said, I'm a religious man, I pray. I'm going to say, God will protect me. Later that day, on the TV broadcast, the news continued to say, there is a storm coming. The dams will most likely break. It's going to flood the town. You need to get out. And the man again said, I'm a religious man. I pray. The Lord will protect me. The Lord will take care of me. Later on that day, the dams did break. The town did flood, and there were rescue people that were out, and there was one in a rowboat that saw the gentleman from his house. And he said, hey, come out here, swim to the boat. I'll take you to safety. And the man said, no, I'm a religious man. I pray. The Lord will protect me. And so he stayed. Well, the waters kept rising and going, and eventually the man had to get up on top of his house. The waters were there. And a helicopter was flying by, and a man with a blowhorn yelled down to the man. He said, I'll throw you down the rope. Here, climb up. We'll take you to safety. And the man said, no, I'm a religious man. I pray. The Lord will protect me. Well, the man died as a result of this storm. And he's standing in heaven, and he looks at God, and he says, God, I'm a religious man. I pray. Why didn't you protect me? Why did I die? And God looks at him and says, I sent you a radio broadcast. The news on the television. A guy in a rowboat and a guy in a helicopter. What the heck are you doing here? Well, yes, that's a silly story, but it does illustrate a point. That even though we live our lives in a good way, we say we're religious people, we say we're Christians, we say we care about what the Lord is doing in our lives, and we pray, sometimes we don't listen to the answers that God provides in a natural way. We keep looking for these supernatural responses for God to break open the sky and to save us in these situations. But the reality is that God works through people. And so my question for you today is this. What is the prayer that you have been praying that God is sending you? A radio broadcast, a TV message, a guy in a rowboat, and a guy in a helicopter, yet turning around and asking you, why the heck are you here? Encourage you to understand that God works through people every single day in the natural world to answer supernatural questions.